Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Friday, May 1st, 2020. I'm Fredicia Liburd. Nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis who are studying abroad are being encouraged to contact the Premier's Ministry or the Ministry of Human Resources in the Nevis Island Administration if they are in need of assistance in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. The advice comes from Premier and Minister of Human Resources, the Honorable Mark Brantley.
But we are asking our students, if they're in Texas, in New York, wherever they happen to be, to shelter in place and to ensure that they adhere to the same safety standards that we are asking here. And if they are in need to reach out to us, they can reach out to me, to P.S. Wakely Daniel, or to the Permanent Secretary Edson Elliott in HR to determine what assistance might be made available to them. The reason why I'm specifying people who are in need is because we recognize that were it not for COVID, students would be in class right now. They would have had, of course, their apartments paid for, their food and meal plans paid for, etc., up until perhaps June, when ordinarily the semester would come to an end. And so we anticipate that some students would perhaps be all right. Others who depend on part-time jobs and the like to get by may not be so all right. So we're asking our people to be understanding, and for students who are in need, we'll seek to assist them there.
On Thursday, April 30th, more than 50 nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis who are studying in Jamaica returned to the Federation via a charter flight funded by the federal government.
We are not, at this point, able to fly every single person home. And so we are asking our people to understand that reality, and that if that changes, we will let people know. But at this point in time, it is just not possible. Bear in mind, we have students as far as Taiwan. So it would be incredibly difficult to airlift everyone, because with the airline traffic not being what it used to be, at this point, it means that we have to charter. So one could understand the logistical difficulties and the costs. The cost of the flight from Jamaica, just so the public knows, is $75,000 US. That's the cost of that late flight to bring those students home from Jamaica. So I give that as an indication of what it is we're dealing with. And again, we're asking for our people to be reasonable.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. The Nevis COVID-19 Compliance Task Force has begun its inspection and assessment of businesses on the island. The objective of the unit is to ensure the adherence to the regulations outlined in the statutory rules and orders of the Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulations.
The Compliance Task Force were out this week. I started working on Monday, and they have to date inspected 15 establishments, and this 15 is comprised of not only our supermarkets and stores, but also our gas stations, etc., and one laundromat. It is important to note that during the inspection, the team took time out to educate the owners and the business operators of hand washing techniques and what they should be providing to the general public, such as hand sanitizers, paper towels, etc., and also hand washing stations for the employees. Even though the 15 may seem small, they have been doing significant work in the education part of it. So I want to commend the COVID Task Force team that are engaged in the inspection and public and education awareness at these facilities.
Co-chair of the Nevis COVID-19 Task Force, Brian Dyer, making a presentation at the Nevis COVID-19 EOC briefing on Thursday, April 30th. The ministries, departments, divisions, and units of the Nevis Island Administration are expected to resume their operations within the next 2 weeks. This follows a 5-week closure to the general public following the initial declaration of a state of emergency in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I've made it clear that all government workers should be provided with masks and the necessary hand sanitizers so that they're comfortable in their places of work, and that we maintain the social distancing and that we lead by example. The NIA will slowly start to reopen A lot of offices are now functional. Places like health never closed, and others never closed. But some workers were working from home, and that is now going to start slowly. We expect next week that we will have heads of departments going in to prepare, and then we expect in the following week that workers will be asked to come out. It will more than likely be on a shift basis, so we can ensure that we maintain the necessary social distancing.
In a statement issued on April 22nd, Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley indicated he had met with the permanent secretaries to discuss how the NIA will reopen to prevent a second wave of COVID-19 contagion that many countries are saying they are experiencing. Still to come.
Well, I just want to say thanks, and I very much appreciate of it.
The details right after this break.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Help us take care of me so I could take care of you.
This is a crucial time, no time for mistakes.
You stay at home for us.
Help us. Take care of me so we could take care of you.
Please wash your hands.
Be responsible and stay at home. You can save lives only when you comply. Play your part, save a life, stay at home.
We are exposed to everything for you.
Maintain social distancing.
I stay at work for you. Help us to help you. Please stay at home. We stayed at work for you. You stay at home for us.
Stay updated by following the Health Promotion Unit on Facebook and Instagram, or contact us at 469-8010.
Welcome back. A total of 56 fish pot wires were donated to boat owners on the island on Thursday, April 30th, thanks to the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the federal government. Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, noted that we are currently facing a new reality, and as such, there will be changes in the fish supply to the island, and as a means to cope with this change, the Ministry of Agriculture has partnered with the federal government to provide some relief to the fishers.
How do you cope and deal with the new reality that we are going to be facing? This is one of those steps towards ensuring that we are providing our fishermen with the necessary infrastructure to grow and to improve and increase their production so that we can satisfy the demand here locally. And in doing that, we are hoping that our fishermen will understand that we, as the citizens of St. Kitts Nevis, but more so Nevis, will be depending on them. And I believe they can come through in flying colors.
Minister Jeffers is encouraging fishers to ply their trade as often as they are allowed.
I'm encouraging our fishermen to utilize the time to increase the days that they would go and ply their trade. If you're accustomed to going on the weekend, we will want you to go out Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Friday, every day of the week, if you possibly can, so that you can have an amount or increase in the amount of fish that is available to our citizens.
Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers. The Department of Education is encouraging parents to tune in to the Youth on the Go program on Von Radio, which airs on Saturdays at 9 a.m.
Every Saturday morning, the Department of Education is represented on Youth on the Go. And so we are using this platform, Youth on the Go, as an opportunity to provide updates to our general community, but more specifically our teachers and parents about what is happening in the area of education. And so I take this opportunity to encourage all parents to tune in to Von Radio every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. for Youth on the Go. And we share everything that we have with you, and you will also have an opportunity to call in if you are so moved to get some of your questions answered, And that way, we know that we have everyone on the same page. We are working assiduously to ensure that our students are well served, that our general community is well served as it relates to education. And we want to provide every opportunity for you to be able to be updated, to get the information that you need so that you can plan accordingly.
Principal Education Officer Sonala Claxton. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Freddie Silibert. Thank you for viewing.
Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that cause illness ranging from the common cold to more severe diseases such as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome MERS-CoV and severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS-CoV. The 2019 novel coronavirus 2019 nCoV is a new strain that has not been previously identified in humans. Coronaviruses are zoonotic, meaning they are transmitted from animals to humans. Detailed investigations found that SARS-CoV was transmitted from civet cats to humans and MERS-CoV from dromedary camels to humans. Several known coronaviruses are circulating in animals that have not yet infected humans. Common signs of infection include respiratory symptoms, fever, cough, shortness of breath, and breathing difficulties. In more severe cases, infection can cause pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, kidney failure, and even death. To protect yourself and prevent the spread of the infection, practice regular hand washing, covering mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing, thoroughly cooking meat and eggs. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness such as coughing and sneezing.